Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy IX. And last time we finished off Disc 1, and now our perspective shifts back to 2 cards. Kind of a weird way to start a disc, but okay. And basically at this point they're gonna go through kind of the generics of what everyone else is thinking at this point in the game. The general populace of particularly Lindblom, but yeah, they want to go to the front lines. Why would you want to go to the front lines? Being bored is one thing. I hate being bored. Why do you think I play video games? But you don't want to go out to war because you're bored. I wouldn't assume it would be better than being bored. Anyway. No, he wasn't suspicious. He was only wearing rusty Alexandrian armor, carrying a princess in his bag covered in gasol pickles. That's not suspicious. Not at all. First he hates the smell of pickles, but for whatever reason, or these pickles, and he envies people who can actually eat them. Yes, he is. He is very confusing. He makes no sense. Oh well. And we get happy-ish music, which is always nice. And our perspective is again switched back to these guys. My low-leveled party. Ooh, busted. She's asleep. They actually were nice enough to draw in the eyelids being closed, which was nice. We know what Bran has done. She doesn't yet. She hasn't seen what we've seen. We being, of course, Zidane and his party. There you go. And this delves into the limits of his personality toward, we're still early on in the game, but his personality will develop from this, from what he is now, and he becomes much less of a comic relief character at that point. You know, he spends the first half of the game really being comic relief, and it's not until we get some interesting story later on in this disc does the game really pick up in terms of his story anyway. Okay. Yeah. Wait in the rest area. Rest areas are good. What? Finally home, huh? Look at that. Nice scenery. But your princess is in another castle. You are very naive, so yes. Yes, he is. And he's still giving salutes. Kind of a note on, well, last time I had control of these guys, I went and equipped everyone at that point. I didn't need to. I just wanted to show off the proper equipment. Hopefully I'll have a note in the previous video. I think I put it in there. I'll have to check that, make a note. But when I screwed up and had to go back to get the Maltina racket, I went and didn't leave any equipment on them because I wanted to have it for my other party members. Speaking of my other party members, we will actually be using these guys this time. So what I did before the battle with Beatrix at the end of the disc is I unequipped all unique pieces of equipment that I didn't have duplicates of, and I equipped all accessories because we're going to be using these characters for a little while. So I'm going to go through and do my setup, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Basically I just want to go through this real quick. Maltina racket, learn new stuff, nothing better. This is the only thing I can learn. Ability up takes priority over everything else. Make sure you get that as soon as possible. I want to learn Scan, just because it's a spell, whatever. Coral Ring, just because, particularly for Man-Eater, because the next boss is a humanoid. That's the only thing you can learn. Learn Undead Killer, and since this has Man-Eater on it, and that was the only other thing I could learn, might as well stick with that. Continue on level up, and our new sword. Oh yeah, I didn't go over this. I told you guys at the end of the last video that I was going to go back and redo the battle with Beatrix and see if I could pick up the Mithril Sword, which was her really, really, really rare steel. And because I'm doing this on an emulator and I have access to both fast forward and save states, I just made myself a save state, one text box before the fight began. If you're using an emulator and you're trying to, you know, like save before each steal attempt to see if you can just reload over and over again to see if it'll work, as far as my experience has taught me, it doesn't. You won't get a different item or a different chance each time. You have to make a save state prior to the turn, or the easiest way I've found it, especially with the Beatrix fights, is prior to battle. That's the way I do it. You know, make a save state before battle, go in, use fast forward, and keep the cursor on memory, see if you can get it. If not, reload and try again. And since you're reloading a save state, you don't have to go through the long sequence from the last save point in order to get back to right before the fight. Long-winded explanations aside, I managed to pick up the Mithril Sword. It took me probably like 10 extra attempts, but because of how fast I was able to go through them, it wasn't too bad. It's a little bit better of a weapon, teaches armor break, has no element or status. But anyway, I just wanted to make sure I could pick that up. No, how do the cable cars work? 8 years ago. Oh, look at that. Mist engines invented in Limblum. Okay, so it's like a balancing act. I guess the weight kind of offsets the other one. Oh well. And she was the part-time worker that got on the train late with us. Anyway, if you go in here, come on. And we're at the rest area. Look at that. And let's look for some information. In my case, you're in the middle of nowhere. Congratulations. Cable car travelers. Of course, we broke the gate. Famous bunt cake. Okay. Meh. He's not very interesting. Go over to this guy here. He has new stuff to buy, so I will go and figure out what I need to buy, and I'll be right back. And I'm back. Basically, all I bought here was actually pretty simple. I didn't even have to check my notes there. Buy some air rackets. I like to have stock of 3. I do know that this is used for something later on, though I can't remember what. And same with the mithril rod. So make sure you have 3, so you'll have at least 1 left over if you want to synthesize 2 of whatever these are required for. And I can't remember what they're required for. I may want a 3rd mithril rod if I remember correctly, or 1 extra one. Whatever. They're cheap at this point. You can buy duplicates of everything. Basically, yeah, spent all this money, and steepled hats. What did we use these for again? Oh yeah. Yay! Yes, we are going to be able to do the cotton robe trick again. So make sure you max out your steepled hats here. I think this is the last point you can do it before the next area. Anyway, if you... Well, first of all, we've got a letter to deliver, so let's read that. Part-time worker Mary. Okay. Yes, we get a coupon because I went back to the Moogles, or whatever that Moogle's name was, and gave him that Koopa nut at the end of, this one's got a favor to ask. Another letter. Yay! But yeah, because we were able to, what's the word I'm looking for? To deliver that other Koopa nut, we get another one here. It's the only way to get the one here is to deliver the other one. You can't stock up more than one Koopa nut. You can talk to the moron. He's mapping out a plan. Basically, they tell you... Yeah. There we go. You talk to this guy. Yeah. I missed my ride. Familiar. It sounded like it was... Oh, yeah. Forgot about the treasure chest. Jeez. Phoenix down. I don't think there's anything else here. I'm going to just kind of run around the edges here. Because I shouldn't have forgotten that one to begin with. Anyway, yeah. It sounds like it's coming from down here. But, well, you can see. And that is Cinna. And Marcus is behind him. Yeah. Yeah, he's a fatty. Yeah, you probably don't want to do that. He'll probably get a little pissed at you. Anyway, it doesn't matter which entrance or exit of those doors you go through. They'll always be on the opposite side. Just so that this sequence can go down without a hitch. Yes, that's exactly what they're here to do. How dare you? Hey, look at that. Marcus actually remembered who he was. Yeah. Nope, apparently not. Anyway, we get some dialogue here. Yeah, what is the princess doing here? It's the princess. Yeah. Talk to Cinna. And yes, he's going to be a pain in the ass until you talk to him. What? Her friends are thieves? That's awesome. Uh-oh. Yes, ma'am. He's been scolded. How embarrassing. No, I'm not going to do Jar Jar Binks. Almost. I almost slipped up. I apologize for that. The character that we should not mention in the movie we should not mention. Oh well. Yeah, he's going to go to Alexandria. He's going to Treno, whatever. And Steiner's still down in the dumps over his scolding. Marcus is heading to Treno. We're heading to Treno. No, ma'am. Anyway, this is the last chance we'll get to be here, so two things. Make sure you pick up the letter, and make sure you buy the steepled hats if that's what you want to do. I didn't mean to do that. And then we can move on here. I think everything's still set. Yes, it is. Which means we can... There we go. Train's here. Looks like Marcus is looking... Well, it's pretty obvious, but I'll let them tell you. There we go. A deal. Yeah. Talk to Steiner. What's he got to say? Yep. And... yeah, this is the same crap all over again. That's always fun. And now we get to share a cart with Marcus. Or a train, or trolley, or car. Whatever this is. And I can't do anything. Yeah, let's figure that out. Blank. The guy who got petrified at the beginning of the game. Guy that anyone who hasn't played the game has already forgotten about. Cures petrification. We're looking for the super soft. Okay. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Yeah, not entirely the truth there, princess. Yup. You are a child. Then again, so is Zidane. She doesn't care about him. Sure. And he refuses to indulge her in any more information. At this point, thank you. Finally, Steiner has learned something. Yep, she's gonna open another shop. Apparently, like, she was the one that we could talk to when we first got to Dali. If we went to the gate there, she was the one who would sell us stuff, and apparently that shop is now closed down, and now she's gonna go open a new shop somewhere else. It's kind of a little side plot that I really don't think is all that important, and I never really paid attention to. But if you like talking to NPCs, you'll learn more about it, I guess. I'm not going to talk to all of them. Some of them, the ones I remembered that are interesting. She's offering her assistance. And on that note, okay, engine trouble, that's always fun. And that doesn't sound like engine trouble. A demon? And they're going to run outside. Marcus is going to follow. And if we remember who this is, Black Waltz number 3. Retrieve princess alive. Yes. Why do you want to capture her? Okay. Retrieve princess alive. Yes, apparently. Doesn't understand. It's broken! Yeah, this is why... Eliminate all. Yeah, this is why I equipped everyone ahead of time, and interestingly enough, we get Marcus in for this fight. And his steals also will work toward Zidane's ability, for one. That, and he can steal, so we want to steal. And I didn't have to buy that extra people that. Oh well, they're not costing me all that much. And she's going to be on healing duty. Armor break probably doesn't matter at this point, but I can use it anyway. Why not? I don't use armor break very often in this game. It's not like Final Fantasy X where you need armor break to progress. In this game, it's just like, ooh, lowers defense a little bit. And it never seems to do a hell of a lot. And in this case, it misses. So yeah, we're basically stuck on hold until Marcus manages to steal. There is, I think this guy has 2 or maybe 3 pieces of equipment to steal. If it doesn't happen on the next go, I will do it off screen, and I will see you when I get back. Oh, here's our first entrance of freeze, and that's a horrible time. Really? There's no way of removing it without the fire spell, as far as I know. So I'm just going to be stuck here waiting. Come on, dissolve. Thank you for not hitting him. Oops, I didn't mean to single target that. Oh well. Alright. Hurry up and unthaw, you moron. And yeah, see, the impact crushes the enemy. He dies instantly from that. After a certain amount of time, he will recover from being frozen. I guess he'll thaw out. Let's make sure he's healed up so that he can actually steal without dying. That would be nice. Anyway. Steal. Thunder. Yes, unlike the previous encounter... Oh yeah, the coral ring. Nice. And I'll tell this little story. Unlike the previous battle that you fought with this guy where he would not harm, or I think that was the fight with the second one actually, but he will attack Dagger. Ooh, got the lightning staff, that was good. I think that might be it. I'm not 100% sure actually. Can't remember if there was one other item. I think it was just the 2. Let's find out. Oh, there is one more. Alright, I'll see you in a minute. And I got the flame staff. Look at that. I'm not sure if I'll include that part of the footage, but this guy was stupid enough to cast freeze on Steiner, and then immediately followed it up by casting fire on Steiner, which of course removed his frozen status. And you do want to be very, very careful if you want to steal the items. The flame staff and the lightning staff. But one, they're very important, especially the flame staff, considering we don't have one yet. But other than that, you want to be careful because he only has about 1200 life, somewhere in that area. And Steiner with Man-Eater can do about 400 plus damage at this point. So, you know, 3 hits and the guy's dead. So ease off of him if you want to steal those items. He seems to know what's going on to some extent. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty obvious to everyone but those two. Specifically Steiner. There we go. We get a big revelation on her part. Yeah, she knows. That's why she's going to stop her. That's her plan anyway. If it's not entirely obvious at this point. Alright. Little more story time. Yeah. She's at least intelligent enough, and she's still working on her blending in, so it doesn't, you know, it makes sense that she would make use of that skill that she's acquired only recently to learn from these people. The peasants, or the normal folk, or whatever you want to call them. Yeah, speaking of which, she's changed. She's a seasoned pro. She's level 8. Yeah. Exactly. Stubborn girl. That's awesome. Anyway, that's pretty much all for this episode, since it's probably running a little bit long as is. And we get off here. Yes, if we go to the right, we reach Treno, and if we go to the left, we reach the village of Dali. And so, other than there being a shop here now, which contains just items, none of which we need, yeah, I will see you guys next time.